by night. Keep going crazy.
Exodus. Shout out to my exes.
Acting by night. Keep going crazy.
Show off your skin, that shit is popping, girl. Body on 10, damn, you got it, girl. You gotta boss up. Getting them checks, living your best. Racks up. Keep walking with confidence. Everlastingly, you let them know who is in command. You just that and more. Don't forget it. God worked hard on you for sure. Lexus, Exodus. Shout out to my exes. I just live it day by day. Whoa, never hearing what they say. Oh, I just do it my way. All I got is these broken clocks. I ain't
Hello, guys. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. How are you all doing? Like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Also, please say what's up in the chat. Say hey in the comment section. Let me know that you're listening. Also, if you have any suggestions or any tips or any ideas for new stories, please feel free to share those with me. I love to hear from you guys. My Gmail is lexusexoduschannel@gmail.com. Additionally, if just because we know the Nakers be nakering and the trolls be trolling, please, if you have a moment, take a second and follow the backup page. That's called LexX. That's LEXEX, and I will also link it in the description below. So here's another installment of my daily series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the animals, characters, creatures, and dusty derelicts found in Blackistan. So let's go. So today we are going to profile the Kangz, the Blackistan Kangz. So this should be a fun one. So like always, we'll go into a profile of what they look like and what characteristics your typical Kangz possesses. And then we'll also actually examine real life scenarios, real life instances of the Kangz and their natural habitat. So let's go through a brief profile of Blackistan Kangz. So their habitat, so they're found typically laid up under a mammy's tit. We know that these are men who are stuck in a perpetual state of childhood, even though they're grown adult males. But you can always see them sucking the life out of a mammy or a mule, taking her resources, and being totally dependent on the women in the community. Their behavior. So Kangz are actually the opposite of a king. They're broke. They have no resources. They have nothing to bring to the table. The only thing that they'll give you is headache and heartache. They're typically unemployed. They're unintelligent. They are unimportant, unsuccessful. They are unfaithful. All of the uns you can think of. They're also illiterate. Very ignorant. However, since the bar is so low in Blackistan, and Blackistan is the land of black male worshiping, like Cynthia G will say, the women within the community will call these fools Kangz, even though they're clearly losers. So coining the term Kangz. So now that we've gone through the profile of your typical Kangz, let's look at this animal in its natural habitat. So let's actually look at a mammy talking about her Kangz and also talking about the importance of treating these Kangz, these apes, these tyroches, like royalty, even though they don't deserve it. So let's see here. Here we go.
Submitting because you want him to treat you like a queen and you ain't submitting to nothing. Hello? Men like surprises. They like manicures. They like pedicures. They like massages. Why don't you call him up sometimes to say, baby, be ready at 7. We going somewhere. Why don't he come home to a nice little gift? But see, society and social media has made a lot of women think that because you're the baddest thing since sliced bread, you got 1,000 likes on your picture and you cute, that the world should just be handed to you. Call me back.
Y'all, I can't. This is a Superman me talking about her Kangz. And shout out to biracial Bridget who emailed this story to me, this video to me for me to cover. I really appreciate when you guys do send me this stuff. So this is your typical mammy with her typical mammy muling mentality. She's talking about how it's important to treat your Kangz with manicures and pedicures and to pretty much spoil him and cater to him like most men are expected to do in other cultures with the women in their culture. But we know that Blackistan is very dysfunctional. The roles are totally reversed. Women are expected to protect and provide and to fight on the front lines to defend men, and men just sit passively in their femininity and kick up their
fee and watch the woman mule and work hard to obtain the resources for their livelihoods. So in any other culture globally, we know that men are supposed to be providers and pursuers and protectors. That's just the innate values or innate attributes that most men of other cultures possess. They just do. So let's think about in India. So I have Indian neighbors. A man has to present the family with a dowry in order to marry that family's daughter. I also have a Pakistani friend that we are very, very, very close with. And they grew up with arranged marriages, and she's been married as a result of an arranged marriage. And what happens in those instances is the parents will meet the other family first. They'll want to vet them. They'll want to know, hey, what can you do for our daughter? What can you add? What value can you add to our family? Oh, so you come from a family of doctors. Okay, cool. Oh, your family is wealthy. Okay, I need to know these things prior to proceeding and giving my blessing for you to marry my daughter. We also see this in other cultures. So even in the Native culture, so I was reading that the Sioux Native Americans. So in order for a young man to marry a woman, he has to first participate in at least one raid or war. And this is to illustrate that he's a protector, that he's strong, that he's courageous, and he has strength. And even after doing that, he has to come to the family's house of the woman that he's interested in pursuing and has to present gifts. And has to really illustrate the value that he can add to the family prior to the parents allowing the engagement and allowing the marriage. Also, I read about Filipinos. So in the Filipino culture, it's customary and traditional for a man who is interested in a woman and interested in marrying her to help farm their land. And he's doing strenuous labor, laborious work and chores for that woman's family. So we see this all throughout culture, this consistent idea and this recurrent theme of men have to really illustrate that they can provide, they can protect, they are hard workers, they can cultivate resources, they can take care of women, and they can pursue these women, and they will be comfortable and will be taken care of prior to a woman accepting their hand in marriage. Only in Blackistan is it normal and celebrated and encouraged for women to treat men like pretty princesses. Only here. Only here. Only here is it normal and encouraged for you to treat a man with dinner, and for you to spoil a man, and for you to financially pursue a man like this mammy is talking about. But this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with effeminate, limp-wrist men who expect women to court them and expect women to be to pamper them and to pursue them and to be the aggressors, because they think they're the prizes and they want to sit up pretty like pretty princesses, getting their manicures and pedicures while the women work hard and do the back-breaking labor to take care of them. Okay, so that is a mammy talking about your typical Kang, her Kang, and how she treats her Kang. Let's actually look at one of these couples in their natural habitat, performing their mating ritual. So let's see what we have here. Here we go. Let's turn the volume up and let's watch this.
Oh, this some romantic shit. Oh, yes. I wish a bitch do me like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck it up, sis. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at him though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he caught that shit. He caught that shit.
Okay. So enough of that. So here you see your Kang and his mammy, and he's engaging in your traditional mating ritual, looking a mess out in public, looking silly, looking crazy. But this mammy is the happiest woman in the world because she's with her Kang. She's in a relationship with her topless, out of shape, probably unemployed, unsuccessful Tyrone, and she's just ecstatic. She's just livid because we know. I mean, that's an accomplishment. Even if the man is broken, homeless, if he's broken and he's struggling, if as long as you have a man, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Okay, let's look at this next Kang with his mammy and examine them in their natural habitat. Here we go. This one's pretty funny. I'm going to make this a little bit larger if I can. I think I can.
You take a man out the streets and clean him up, everybody want him. We trying to mind our business, grow our little family, and get rich. We trying to live, baby. Ain't nothing gonna break us up. I'm trying to grow my edges, and y'all interfere with my relationship. That man ain't going nowhere. Where you going, baby? Nowhere. So y'all need to stop it and mind y'all business because I take care of this lady with my disability check. Hey, say it again, baby. With my disability check. So stop being miserable and mind your own business because I got me a man. I am very lucky. He's strong. I'm the man. You heard? And we be ready on the first every month, sitting at the bank. Say them again. I need to stop doing what, baby? Haiti! You heard my man.
Is this for real or is this a joke? So I find it really hard to believe some of this shit that I come across because it's like, is this just a skit? But then it's like you can see clearly he only has 4 teeth in his mouth. So there has to be some validity to this shit. And then I remember how dysfunctional Blackistan is, and I'm constantly reminded, even though I've been far removed from Blackistan and I'm divested, and I've been divested for some years, I remember this stuff, and I remember couples like this. So here we have a mammy with her Kang talking about how everybody wants this fool, and this woman is delusional. And it's like, yeah, he may be broke. He may be ugly, busted, and disgusted. He only has 3 teeth left in his mouth, and those are hanging on for dear life. But he's still a Kang, and everybody want him. Everybody want him. So she's telling other women to leave her man alone. And she talks about how he's taking care of her with his disability. And it's like, I can't, y'all. I can't. So only in Blackistan would a woman feel comfortable touting about how her man is taking care of her with a government assistance check that comes straight from Brad. So you guys are sustaining yourselves from government money, from welfare checks that come from honest taxpayer dollars, but you sitting here bragging about your man and telling other people and warning them to leave him alone because he takes care of you and you guys have a happy home when he living off the government. Both y'all are living off the government. This man can't protect or provide, can't provide any resources to you. He doesn't even have front teeth. He doesn't even have front teeth. He can't even chew an apple. But we sit here having this conversation about how other women want to take your man that you done found off the streets. This is your typical Kang. This is a Kang of Blackistan. Y'all, see, she done pissed me off. All right, let's keep going. So let's talk about, let's look at this woman, this mammy, who is talking about the dynamics that she has experienced with her personal Kang for the past decade in Blackistan. Here we go.
Tell me your boyfriend doesn't fuck with you without telling me your boyfriend doesn't.
We don't have no pictures together. And the pictures that we do take, he will act like he put them on Snapchat, but will save them to his phone, but will not post me on social media. When I say, why can't you let the world know about me? He used to always say, as long as my family know about you or my friends know about you, that's all that matters. The world doesn't have to know. What else?
Yeah, he has never given me anything for my birthday. And around the time of my birthday, which is in August, we break up in July. Been going on for almost 7 years. Yeah.
Tell me your boyfriend doesn't fuck with you without.
Okay, so this girl talks about how she's just been enjoying struggle love with her Kang for the past 7 years, and it's like, seriously, sis, seriously. Like, she talks about how this fool won't post her. He'll act like he'll post her on Snapchat, but doesn't do it. He hasn't given her a gift because he every year, like clockwork, he'll break up with her a month before her birthday. Doesn't publicly claim her. Doesn't do anything for her. And, this reminds me, because she looks pretty young. She looks like she's in her early 20s. And I've been stupid and dumb and in love in my early 20s too, before divesting and before maturing a bit. But I remember going to couples therapy when I was with my ex Tyrone husband in Blackistan. And I remember the therapist asking us all these questions, this questionnaire about how we feel about one another, and how we feel about our needs being met, and how we feel supported emotionally, and just how secure we felt in the relationship. We did like this questionnaire. Maybe it was like 30 questions. And I remember having a dismal response to every single question. And I remember him saying very vividly, if you don't feel fulfilled at all in any aspect, so if you're not affirmed, if you're not getting anything emotionally, if you don't feel secure at all, if you don't feel supported in this space with this person, why are you here? Why are you still here? Because not only was I being dragged down financially and being depleted of my financial resources, I had a bachelor's and a master's and worked hard, even back when I was underemployed and not using my degree because the job market was shitty. I still diligently just muled and worked to make sure we had food on the table and to make sure bills were paid. While he would just quit a job. Oh, this white boy's talking to me crazy, so I walked off. But yes, like, not only was there things lacking financially, because that's one thing, you can, if you're being supported in other areas, then the financial difficulties you can deal with. But it was across the board. I was also being cheated on and emotionally abused and physically abused. And so I was being depleted and being taken from and blood dry in all aspects. So he, just like the therapist said, what are you still here for? What are you still here for? Why are you here? And that's all too common in Blackistan. You see this girl talk about it, how, all this man does is cause headaches and heartache. You can't even give this girl moral support. Like, she can't even get a card for her damn birthday every year. You break up with her every year right before her birthday, so you don't have to give her no gift. But it's like, damn, like, you can't even categorize them as dogs or call them dogs, because at least I have 2 dogs. And at least, dogs are loyal and provide emotional support. They're faithful to you. And we want to call these niggers Kangz when really they're at the bottom of the totem pole, and all they know how to do is take. There's no kingdom. How you going to be the Kang of the land of disparity, and the land of need, and the land of lack? You're not a king. How you going to be Kang in the land of desolation, and in the land of poverty, in the land of struggle? Okay, let's keep going. So I also came across this picture of this Kang who has a t-shirt that really accurately describes what women are experiencing when they date these Kangs. So here his shirt says, "I come with dick and half the rent." Y'all. Your Kangs are notorious for this. All you'll get from them is pain and depression. Maybe a few STDs, maybe a illegitimate baby. They always are touting about 50-50. Things need to be 50-50. And I really have thought about this and reflected on this after divesting and after being far removed from this dysfunction. I really do think it's truly because they cannot afford to handle 100% of their expenses on their own. So, and this is why you'll see these Kangz be homosexuals commonly and seek out women to partner with, to help with utilities, to live with, to go half and half on car payments and housing, and other things that they can't afford to pay for on their own, that they should be able to do as a grown adult. You should be able to take care of yourself. So yeah, this is what these Kangz have to offer. Just pain, headache, heartache, and half the rent. If that, child. All right. And just to piggyback on that, let's look at a woman who details her experience with one of these Kangz and how he was literally just seeking unsuspecting women to fund his lifestyle.
So let me tell you a personal story in regards to this comment. There was this man who pursued me for years, and when he finally got a house, he started to pursue me even harder, talking about marriage, talking about he wanted kids, and I'm like, you're not really doing it for me. I don't really want to think about that with you. But I guess he couldn't take a hint, so he kept asking me, when are you going to move in? When are you going to move in? Come move in with me. Come spend time with me. Come to my house. Come to my house. And I'm like, he's asking me so much. I finally inquire, and I'm like, okay, so like, when do you want me to move in? Like, what is that going to be like? Then he goes, oh, you can move in as soon as possible. But what bills you paying? Bitch, you telling me you bought a house with your name on the deed, and you want a woman that you say you love and you want to be with to move in so she can pay down the mortgage on your asset. Ladies, this account is free to peep game. Please peep game. It happens to most of us. These women are sad and pathetic. Don't get caught up. Don't get used.
Here's another one from this same content creator where she talks about the same topic. Let's dive in.
Very true. What most women don't realize is that a lot of men will date you because you're paying half of the bills, because they need some help, because they need someone to pay half the rent, because they need someone to help give them a higher quality of life. Y'all getting played. Yo, all y'all 50-50 women, I'm sorry, you're getting played.
So y'all, and the fact that she's still not divested after all of this is very telling, because it's like, girl, how many men do you have to meet with that type of mentality before you decide that you've had enough? And before you start practicing hypergamy. But yeah, I'm speechless. It's interesting because y'all be feeling special because these Kangz ask y'all to move in with them. But it's like, no, you're not special. He just wants a roommate that he can F when he wants to every now and again. Someone who can go half and half on the bills and who he has free access to sexually and could do what he wants. And the marriages are the same way. So if you got a ring on your finger, don't feel special. Not if you're married to one of these Kangz. It's so interesting because, they, like I said, they love to brag within the community because they're married and because my husband, and this is coming from a married woman. That's not an accomplishment. It's not difficult to get married. It just isn't. It isn't. I mean, any broke, any busted and disgusted man will be very, very eager to marry, especially if you have something going for yourself. Any man who is struggling and who doesn't have much to his name, who doesn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, he will eagerly marry you. So it's not difficult to get married. You can go within the community and have your pick because these men are so common and they're homosexuals and they're looking for unsuspecting women to leech off of. But yeah, it's like, you're bragging about this, but it's like, nah, sis, he just wanted someone to go half on a rent with him for the rest of his life. That's it. All right. I also wanted to talk about these Kangz and go through their marriage rituals and really examine the marriage process in its innate glory. So let's close us out. So what is this? This honestly, just now looking at it, I thought it was a prison picture. It's not though, because they won't let them wear like shoes like this or their own clothing. But yeah, so this wedding with this man or king, they have airbrush t-shirts and Nike shoes and flip-flops at her marriage ceremony. And this is what you can expect. And the caption says their wedding fit their tax bracket. This is the problem. If this is all you can afford when it comes to a marriage ceremony, you don't need to get married. You just don't. You just don't. Just don't. Just elope. Just elope. Because this is a mess. This is crazy. Like, you mean to tell me you want to spend the rest of your life with someone who couldn't even afford a Vegas wedding with a freaking priest and some type of semblance of normalcy? No, we had to go to the mall and get $5 cotton Walmart t-shirts and airbrush them for $10. And that's our wedding attire for a ceremony that denotes the beginning of, who you're spending the rest of your life with. Speaking of eloping, so let's look at another instance of a Kang getting married, and let's just say it did not go as planned. So let's watch this. This is really, really funny.
Listen, if you're going to come to the courthouse to get married, at least check to see if you got warrants first. Why my cousin got my whole family out here dressed in their Sunday's best behind some mess. He about to go to jail. They want him for child support. I'm trying to talk low because my aunt watching me. Go on in there, Aunt Gloretha. I'm just talking to my fans. You need some? All right. Y'all, she upset. She can't believe he got her out here looking like this. And I don't know why he didn't tell me he had an outstanding amount. Girl, $33,000, that's not even child support. That's a student loan.
Jesus.
He owes student loans to them kids. Oh, the wedding was supposed to be back there. Just make a... Yeah, you can go back that way. Let me go tell these people ain't gonna be no wedding because they just pouring in. They pouring in like rain. Listen, if you gonna come to the courthouse to get married, at least check to see if you got warrants first.
So here's this man talking about his cousin inviting him to a courthouse wedding. And the damn fool didn't know that he had warrants due to outstanding child support. He owes $30,000 in child support. So he got arrested. So y'all see this ghetto mess. This is so damn ghetto. This is so ratchet and this is so embarrassing. So this poor girl that invited her entire family to the courthouse, to the local courthouse downtown. And because the Kang couldn't even afford to do it legitimately and pay for the wedding, they're just going to elope and have an informal celebration, an informal ceremony at the courthouse. This dumb fool didn't even think to check to make sure that he didn't have any warrants. So he went to the courthouse on what's supposed to be his wedding day and got arrested. But this is y'all's Kangz. This is y'all's Kangz. Jailbird Kangz. And this is what I mean when I say these fools can't win for losing. Because it's like, this is already embarrassing in itself. Just like we looked at the airbrush t-shirt wedding. Like, this is right aligned with that. Y'all can't have a real wedding, probably because y'all can't afford it if he owes $30,000 in child support. So y'all just put together some thrown together shoddy shit. You done invited the entire family to come to the courthouse. But you can't even do that right. So this dumb fool got illegitimate children, fatherless children that he's created and that he's abandoned in this world. And he got arrested while trying to get eloped because he owed $30,000 in child support. And like he said, and y'all know the queen, this is a queen. He's clearly a gay man, and they're very, very vocal, and they don't mince words or hold back. That's a damn tuition bill. That's a college loan debt. How do you accumulate an amount of $30,000 in back pay for child support? And you know the motherfucker only probably was paying about $100 a month. So how delinquent did he get? How bad did it progress to be if you rack up a bill of $30,000? Y'all, I cannot. Okay, so there you have it. This is tons of illustrations, tons of examples of your quote unquote Kangz. It's like only within this community will we uplift the men who are statistically the most impoverished, who have no resources, who are literally a conquered group of men kings. Child, y'all can have it. Y'all can have it. I'm going to be sitting here in Divestopia and Divested World in suburbia, sitting pretty in my beautiful home, loving on, my partner who, we really cultivate assets and cultivate resources. This ain't it. All right. That's all I got. Till next time. See you guys. Bye.
If y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.